What we're going to do first is we're going to remove everything you can see right here so we can gain access inside over here. Hook everything that's in the way here so it opens it up for you. We'll take this out here and we'll get this out of the way. Show you what that looks like in there. Down here is where the idle speed motor is located. That's this piece right up inside here. So we're going to be, removing. We're going to take the throttle body off, and we're going to take the throttle body and turn it over so we can gain access to the bolts underneath there, because you won't be able to turn them out right now. So this also has antifreeze flowing through it, so you'll need to drain some cooling system, the antifreeze out of it, or you can do what I'm going to do is you could pinch off one of these lines here and reduce the amount of fluid lost. So, all right, let's keep on working on it. All right, we're just going to disconnect everything that's on there. We're going to remove it and just take it out of the way so we can pull our throttle body off. And we'll just relocate everything out of the way. These electrical connectors, you just push the pin in and this pulls right out like this. Same thing right here. Just rock it back and forth, it comes right off. And the same thing down on the bottom is another sensor there. Just push the pin in. That's the lock tab. And you can take that off. There's probably going to be some antifreeze being lost through here, so we're just going to be a little bit careful. We'll see how much we get out of there. I usually do just to minimize the amount of antifreeze being lost is just pinch off the line just a little bit to keep the antifreeze from flowing. Not too tight because you don't want to break the hose. And then we can just push the hose down and out of the way. And we'll do the same thing on this other hose right here. Just get in here with a pair of needle nose pliers, and you can just pull that clamp out of the way. Just pull it back. You might have a little antifreeze, but nothing significant. Alright, then we just take that hose up and out of the way for now. And then we're going to remove these two cables right here, and then we'll unbolt this, and we're going to unbolt it from here, 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 and there's one more down there, and we'll take this throttle body right off the car. Break these cables loose right here. It's probably a 12mm, which it is. So we're just going to loosen them and pull these cables out of the way. Remember which cable goes where. cable off here. Same thing. Unscrew that back. So you remember which one goes where. And then we're going to take these bolts out here. That throttle body, just so you know, it is 12 millimeters also. We'll break them all loose. And we'll take it out. And once you have it broken loose, then you can just take them out by hand. So let's get over to the workbench and we're going to continue on this. Okay, now we have it here on the bench. We're going to take these screws out here. These screws are usually pretty tight, so just be careful. You don't want to strip them with your screwdriver and remove it. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to strip this screw out. If you strip it out, you're going to have a really big problem. And then this comes right off. And then we're going to need to change that gasket right in there also. So let me get a scribe and we'll get that out. And then you just get in here with any kind of pointy object and you can pull that gasket out. We don't want to ever use a gasket over again. Always change it. Always scrape it off to make sure you have all of your sediment or any kind of oxidation off. In this case it's fine. Then we're going to put our new gasket back in there and we'll reassemble it. There's only one way it can go in there, so watch how you do it. And it should fit right into the seat. Let me just show you one thing real quick here. This is what happens right inside there. You can see there's a little like a, maybe you see it better on this one. You see inside here it has that piece that actually rotates inside there. And this one here is all clogged up with carbon. So, alright, let's put the other one back together and let's get this job wrapped up then. Alright, remember there's only one way you can go back on, so put it back on the way you took it off. Catch both of the screws in there by hand first before you tighten them up. Alright, snug them both down. Nice and tight. Okay. Now before I put this back on the car, I am going to clean out this throttle plate here because this is really dirty, and a lot of times that carbon gets inside here and it causes an issue with that. So let me clean this all out, and then we're going to clean that gasket off here as well as on the engine. So let's get back over there. I just want to show you how to clean out the throttle body real quick. What we're going to do is we're going to spray it in here just a little bit. You want to use it very sparingly. You don't want to use too much of it. And then what you do is you take a brush, you wet that brush down, and you just do this and clean off all of that buildup inside there, all that carbon buildup. So let me clean this all out. Once I get it cleaned, I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. We just have to work it like this and get it cleaned up. And then you just take a rag and you clean out all of that buildup inside there. that. And you can see how much cleaner it is already. We'll hold it open. And we'll clean it out in here the rest of the way. Remember, very sparingly, you don't want to use too much of it. See how much cleaner it is now? On this side. We're going to do the same thing on this side here. Again, we're going to minimize the amount of fluid going down into anything. We're just going to use a very small amount. And then we're going to spray up our brush again. Nice and clean. Okay? Alright, let's clean off this gasket on here. We're going to clean off the gasket on the other part of the intake. And we're going to wrap this job up. Okay, this is the gasket right here that we're going to be removing. You never want to reuse these old gaskets here. So we're going to get in here with a scraper and we're going to scrape this off. If you don't have a scraper, you can get in there with a razor blade and clean it off. So let's get this cleaned off and we'll come right back then. Okay, now that we have everything cleaned up, we have the new gasket on. Now remember, this gasket can only go on one way. You have these little cutouts right here where it fits right into. So there's only one way this gasket can go onto the car. Alright, we'll put that on like that, and then we're going to lay the throttle body back in there. Alright, throttle body's nice and clean. Let's just put the throttle body back on, and we're going to bolt it back up. Make sure you don't pinch anything underneath the bottom of it when you put it back in. And you can catch the nuts. You're not going to tighten anything up yet, just going to catch it on there. What you always do is start with the furthest bolt away, and you screw it into aluminum so don't go too tight. And then just check them one more time, make sure you're tight. Okay, nice and tight. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to start reconnecting everything that we disconnected. Okay, we tightened up the 12 millimeter bolts to 4 of them that hold the throttle body onto the vehicle. Reattached our sensor here. Reconnected these two cables here. There's a vacuum hose that goes right into the side of the breather here. We reconnected that. What I was doing with this hose right here is I was pushing it back into its spots. That is made specifically to hold the hose so we don't have any damage to the hose by laying in the wrong place. So it's back in where it belongs here, as well as down in here, same thing. And then the front over here, it's the exact same thing. We put it back in here. Alright, so this is tight, this is reconnected, all your plugs are plugged back in. And then now we're going to go inside the car and we're going to start it up. And if you did your job right, you should be good. So let's give it a shot. And we're going to see how it works. If it works properly, it should start up and run up to about, say, 1500 RPMs, and then drop back down to a normal, stable idle that's not surging up and down. So let's start it up and see how it is. All right, idle speed is up. And once it warms up, it should come down a little bit below. It's about 1100 right now. It should be a little bit less than that. But as it warms up, we should be okay. I'm going to now connect my scanner up, and I'm going to turn that light back off right there. We're going to road test it, and we're going to make sure this job is done perfectly. All right, thanks for watching. Good luck, and I'll see you on the next one.